don't have makeup for me?
No, but I want you to look great.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
This town has no sense of humor.
Look people in the eyes, tell them the truth. The American people aren't stupid.
Question, because tax reform is the holy grail. Well, it's not literally the holy grail. Maybe I shouldn't say that now. I've said everybody.
So, how does it feel being back in D.C.?
The swamp?
Yeah.
The swamp is geographically Washington, D.C., but in a metaphysical sense, it's just a place where values change.
I'm not a career politician, and I don't want to be a career politician. I think one of the problems in this town, in the swamp, is there's too many damn career politicians.
I think we have a bipartisan bankruptcy going on. I think both parties are engaged in a quiet deal that we will support our base, and if it leads to bankruptcy, okay, and you will support your base, and if it leads to bankruptcy, okay. Because both parties are more interested in supporting their special interest groups and looking the other way when the other party supports their special interest groups.
Democrats have plenty of notice. Chairman Haskins, yes.
There's a good 3-day view. We generally go from about 7 in the morning till about 9 at night. You know, I joke that I don't think I've ever worked so hard to accomplish so little. But if you stop working, you can be assured you won't accomplish anything. If I'm up by 7 and I'm not done working until 9 on a day we're in D.C. And if I'm on the road, generally speaking, if we're in recess, I'm usually up earlier and home later. So I've been married for a year and a half. I haven't been on a honeymoon yet. Don't have time, can't afford it. Am I complaining? Hell no. I've been given a wonderful opportunity to perpetuate the greatest experiment that mankind has ever endeavored to engage in. But the workload is, it's not. This isn't all vacations and steak dinners, I promise.
I was whipped on the first budget, which means that leadership comes up to you and asks you how are you going to vote on this. And he said, Ken, are you going to vote for the budget? And I said, no, I'm not going to vote for the budget. And he says, well, why aren't you going to vote for the budget? And I said, well, because it doesn't balance. He says, well, it balances in 10 years. And I said, how long have you been here? And he says, I've been here 12 years. I said, 10 years ago, did they tell you it was going to balance? He looks at me and he says, you're right, it never balances. That's leadership. That's leadership's representative telling me it never balances.
Here, the incentives are ass backwards, upside down. There's no incentive to save money here. In the private sector, I think the incentives, for the most part, though not perfect, are very good. Here, there's not an incentive to save money. There's an incentive to spend money. There's not an incentive to do what you believe in necessarily, or what you believe to be correct. There's an incentive to get to yes, to be on the team. Now, why do you want to be on the team while you're here? Well, because that's going to help you do what? Win re-election. It's going to help you run for governor. It's going to help you run for the United States Senate. It's going to help you be the next Speaker of the House. Those, to me, are not the correct incentives, because nowhere in what I just said are the words the people. The incentive should be all about the people we represent. And more days than not, I think everybody is represented in Washington, D.C., other than we the people. first day, I'm a small business guy. I understand budgets. I got an MBA. I get numbers. We're sitting there discussing one of the line items in the budget. Sitting right to my right, it wasn't Ken. He raised his hand, and Chairman Price recognized him, and he said, Chairman, he looked up at the point of the clock. He said, you know, we can't be here all day. He said, especially debating this line item. He said, it's only $7 billion. Can we move on? My first day here. I just did one of those things. I raised my hand. Price recognized me, and I said, I'm new here. I don't understand Washington ways. I'm a freshman. It's my first day in the budget committee. I'm a small business guy, but where I come from, Iowa, we run our entire state budget is $7 billion in a year. I said, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money where we come from. And guess what we did? We moved on. We moved on.
So we both vote following our principles, what's best for the country, etc. And then you get a lot of this team language. You got to do what's right for the team, whatever. I said, well, I'm fine with being on a team, but tell me when the team practices, right? Where's the team meet?
The independence of the individual, I think, is largely requested to be sacrificed when you enter these hallowed halls. You'll do what the team needs you to do because the team is bigger than you. Conceptually, I get that. But I didn't run for Congress to serve another person in Congress. I ran for Congress to serve 730,000 people in Virginia's 5th District.
And the very people that talk about how awful this town is, send me back and I'll clean it up. They have no interest in cleaning this up because they benefit from the system.
Whatever percentage of people are here to perpetuate opportunity and freedom and the ability of individuals to make choices for themselves versus the number of people who are here to perpetuate their name, to be important, or be B-list, C-list celebrities, or to have people call them sir or ma'am or madam or Mr. Congressman. It's all stupid.
And it's interesting dynamic in this town. As soon as you want something, they got you. As soon as you want something, you now become part of the swamp. Say, I want a chairmanship. Okay, well then you got to play the game by the rules they want. You say, well, I want to be on an A committee. Now you got to play the game by the rules that they set. As soon as you want something that they have, they got you.